What is that sound? Hello, my dear students. Miss Anna is here once again. Now, for today's lesson, we are going to have a comprehension review about the story The Day Jimmy's Boa Ate the Wash. But before that, I'm going to show you a short video about a boa constrictor. Now, let's watch this video.
In Bagaces, Costa Rica, National Geographic explorer Susan Perry captures a grisly scene unfolding in her backyard. A 10-foot boa entangles an enormous iguana, holding it in a vice-like grip. Lacking a poisonous bite, constrictors rely on another weapon: brute force. Within this coiled tangle of predator and prey, thousands upon thousands of powerful muscles flex and squeeze the constrictor's prey. The biggest constrictors can squeeze with a force equivalent to 9,000 pounds of pressure. That's like having a school bus on your chest. The pressure cuts off blood flow to the body, stopping the prey's heart. But can this conqueror consume the spoils of victory? Unlike nature's other top predators, snakes cannot rip and chew their meals. They must swallow them whole. As the serpent swings his mouth over the iguana's lifeless body, he reveals another weapon in his arsenal: the quadrate. This tiny bone in the snake's mouth allows the boa to open his jaw at 2 points. If humans were built like snakes, our mouths could open up to a 120-degree angle. And it doesn't stop there. His lower jaw is actually 2 separate parts. This ingenious adaptation means these snakes can swing their mouth wider than their skull when swallowing prey. But this supersized meal needs more than a big mouth. And this snake has another trick up his scales. Deep inside his mouth lie 2 sets of razor-sharp inner teeth, able to move independently from the rest of his mouth. These inner teeth bite into the prey, rocking the skull back and forth. In real time, it takes hours for this boa to bite and pull itself over the iguana. But this boa may have bitten off more than he can swallow. The size of his meal stretches his scales to the limit, ripping open his flesh near the mouth. For explorer Susan Perry, this extraordinary encounter is just another ordinary day in the field.
Wow, isn't it amazing? What can you say about that video? Do you like snakes? If you're going to ask me, I don't like snakes. I'm afraid of them. Now let me tell you more information about a boa constrictor. Now you can also read at the same time with me. Ready? Boa constrictors are non-venomous snakes found in Central and South America. They are named after their mode of predation, constriction, which means They can squeeze their prey and swallow it. Now, boa constrictors were some of the most distinctive markings of all reptiles. Depending on the habitat they are trying to blend into, their bodies can be green, red, or yellow and display cryptic patterns of jagged lines, ovals, diamonds, and circles. For their behavior, they are non-venomous constrictors, which means on the other hand, anaconda cousins, they are excellent swimmers but prefer to stay on dry land, living primarily in hollow logs and abandoned mammal burrows. Now, in the story, the day Jimmy's boa ate the wash, boa constrictor is one of the main characters in the story. That's why I introduced to you in real life about what is a boa constrictor. Did you know that a boa constrictor is known as a pet snake? Usually in America, they used to have a pet snake, boa constrictors, for some animals to be removed in their house or to be killed in their house, like rats. Let's continue to see some of the pictures of boa constrictor. Look at that. They can weigh up to 27 kilograms or 60 pounds and length up to 4 meters. Now let's review the story because our main lesson for this day is comprehension about the story. So you're going to be asked for many questions from the story, whether you understood or not. So before we continue to those questions, you need to watch the video of the story again.
How was your class trip to the farm?
Oh, boring. Kind of dull. Until the cow started crying.
A cow? Crying?
Yeah. You see, a haystack fell on her.
But a haystack doesn't just fall over.
It does if a farmer crashes into it with his tractor.
Oh, come on. A farmer wouldn't do that.
He would if he were too busy yelling at the pigs to get off our school bus.
What were pigs doing on the bus?
Eating our lunches.
Why were they eating your lunches?
Because we threw their corn at each other. And they didn't have anything else to eat.
Well, that makes sense. But why were you throwing corn?
Because we ran out of eggs.
Out of eggs? Why were you throwing eggs?
Because of the boa constrictor.
The boa constrictor?
Yeah, Jimmy's pet boa constrictor.
What was Jimmy's pet boa constrictor doing on the farm?
Oh, he brought it to meet all the farm animals. But the chickens didn't like it.
You mean he took it into the hen house?
Yeah. And the chickens started squawking and flying around.
Go on. What happened?
Well, one hen got excited and laid an egg. And it landed on Jenny's head.
The hen?
No, the egg. And it broke. Yucky! All over her hair.
What did she do?
She got mad because she thought Tommy threw it. So she threw one at him.
What did Tommy do?
Oh, he ducked, and the egg hit Marianne in the face. So she threw one at Jenny, but she missed and hit Jimmy, who dropped the boa constrictor.
Oh, and I know. The next thing you knew, everyone was throwing eggs, right?
Right.
And when you ran out of eggs, you threw the pig's corn, right?
Right again.
Well, what finally stopped it?
Well, we heard the farmer's wife screaming.
Why was she screaming?
We never found out because Mrs. Stanley made us get on the bus. And we sort of left in a hurry without the boa constrictor.
I bet Jimmy was sad because he left his pet boa constrictor.
Oh, not really. We left in such a hurry that one of the pigs didn't get off the bus. So now he's got a pet pig.
Boy, that sure sounds like an exciting trip.
Yeah, I suppose. If you're the kind of kid who likes class trips to the farm.
That's the end of the story. Now, let's continue with our lesson. What can you say about the story? Is it a funny story? Would you like to have a class trip going to a farm with a boa constrictor? Okay, now for our questions. Number 1. What causes the farmer to knock over the haystack? Is it A, he hears the cow crying? B, he wants to move the haystack? C, he's too busy yelling at the pigs to get off the bus. What is your answer? Very good. The answer is letter C. Question number 2. But before that, I want you to have a small notebook and then try to answer each question, and then later on at the end of this PowerPoint presentation, you're going to count how many scores did you get. Okay? So that is question number 1. Would you like to read it? What event does the girl tell her mother about first? A. Jimmy left his boa on the farm. B. The pigs climbed onto the bus. C. The cow lay crying under the haystack. If you really know the story, you should know the answer for this question. And the answer is very good. Letter C. The cow lay crying under the haystack. Did you get the right answer? Or no? Let's go to the next question. What shows this story is fantasy? Now, if you remember, the genre of this story is a fantasy story or a make-believe story. For letter A, pigs were climbing up the side of a school bus and a cow was crying. For letter B, a boa ate the wash instead of the chickens. For letter C, both of the above letters A and B. Do you think letters A and B will happen in the real life? Do you think pigs can really climb up onto the bus? And a cow will really cry like a human being, like a man? And a boa or a snake will eat the clothes or the wash instead of chickens? Very good. The answer is letter C. Of course, A and B will not really happen in real life. Next question. You need to complete the sentence. Let's review the vocabulary, okay? The egg did not hit Maria because she, do you still remember from the story? They threw eggs on their faces or with each other. Now, why did Maria didn't hit? It's because she A. sensed, B. ducked, C. supposed, D. boring. What did she do? So the answer is letter. Great! The answer is letter C. Oh, D. ducked. Okay, because she ducked or she bent down. That's why she wasn't hit. Now let's go to the next question. Try to check your own answer. Would you like to read it? Dad got a new plank for our farm. A. Suppose. B. Duct. C. Tractor. D. Boring. Very nice. The answer is letter C. Tractor. Dad got a new tractor for our farm. Did you get the right answer? That idea makes good. A. Sense. B. Boring. C. Suppose. D. Haze. I'll give you 5 seconds to answer the question and check your own answer if it's right or wrong. Come on, don't be lazy. You need to do it. Very good. The answer is A. That idea makes good sense. Let's go to the next. Yes, I blank you did your best. A. Duct. B. Suppose. C. Tractor. D. Numbers. Please try to read the question. I want you to repeat watching this PPT. I want you to read all of the words written on my PowerPoint presentation to practice your oral English skill. Now, please also do your homework. Some of you are not doing are not doing their homework, but some of you are sending their homework on my WeChat. Now, for the answer is letter. Very good. Letter B. Suppose. Wonderful. Let's go to the next slide. This sound is a little funny. Most stories are exciting, but that one is A. Duct, B. Suppose, C. Tractor, D. Boring. I'll give you 5 seconds to answer. Excellent. The answer is letter D. Boring. Next question. This book is most like a poem, play, folktale, fantasy. I know you know the answer for this question. Of course, the answer is letter D. Fantasy. Question. What words does the girl use to tell her mother about the class trip? Now, if we're going to go back to the story, she used to tell her mother about this class trip. A. Exciting and fun. B. Scary and dull. C. Boring and dull. D. Happy and fun. The first time that she told her mother about the class trip. So the answer is letter C. Boring and dull. Until she continues to tell those exciting and fun things happened next from the story on their class trip. Next question. Why does the farmer crash his tractor into the haystack? Can you still remember the story? That farmer crashed his tractor into the haystack because A. He isn't paying attention to where he is going. B. He knocks it over so the class can play in it. Do you think this is the right answer? C. He was too busy. D. He wants to say hello to the class. Please think about your answer. Actually, the answer is letter A. Yes, he isn't paying attention to where he is going because he was busy yelling out to pigs to get off from the school bus because those pigs climbed onto the school bus. So that's why it happened. Why is the farmer yelling at the pig? Now, this is the next question. A. Is it the farmer wants them off the school bus? I think I mentioned already the answer. B. The farmer wants to feed them lunch. C. The cow is crying. D. The farmer's wife is angry. Yeah, the answer is letter A. The farmer wants them off the school bus. That's why the farmer keeps on yelling at the pigs. Letter A. How many right answers or correct answers did you get already? Now let's. In this story, the pigs usually eat In the story, based from the story, not in real life, okay? A, hay. B, corn on the cob. C, eggs. D, whatever they can find. Do you still remember those children are throwing these things? That's why there was a chaos happen next into that story, because they threw those things. The answer, it's not about playing from chicken, from the chickens, okay? It's about the pigs food. So the answer is letter B, corn on the cob. But normally pigs don't eat like that. So they have really food for them. Now, what does the girl tell about first in the story? A, Jimmy drops his boa constrictor in the hen house. Now, this is about sequencing of the events. If you know the story, you should know the answer for this. Now, the question is the first event in the story. A, Jimmy drops his boa constrictor in the hen house. B, a cow starts crying. C, an egg breaks on Jenny's head. D, Marianne throws an egg at Jenny. 5 seconds. What is your answer? Correct. Letter A. Oh, B. I'm sorry. A cow starts crying. Yeah, that was the first event that happened in the story when the cow started crying. Okay. Now, the next question. What starts the happening at the farm? Letter D. Pigs getting on the school bus. Can you try to imagine those pigs? Those pigs were climbing on the school bus. So try to imagine or think it will happen in real life. Now you're going to have a class trip, and you went to the school and then you went to a farm. Then those pigs will climb onto your school bus. Now, are you going to play with the pigs? Okay, let's go to the question. Who is Mrs. Stanley? Now, Mrs. Stanley was mentioned in the story. Now, who is she? Is it the farmer's wife, the girl's mother, a parent of a student, or the teacher? Yeah, the answer is the teacher. Very good. Next, why does the class leave the farm in a hurry? Now, after all those things happen, the class leave the farm in a hurry. Why? A, Jimmy wants to leave his boa constrictor. Do you really think Jimmy wanted to leave his pet? B, the bus driver says that they are late. Are they in a hurry because they are late? C, their teacher is upset that the farmer's wife is screaming. Do you really think their teacher is really upset? That's why she asked them to leave the farm in a hurry. D, the farmer tells the class to leave right away. Did it mention? Was it mentioned in the story that the farmer tells the class to leave right away? Okay, the answer is letter C. Maybe she is worried about what will happen. So if it will continue, then maybe it will be a big chaos. So the teacher wanted them to leave the farm in a hurry. Okay, that's good. Which word best tells what the class is like? A, wild. B, are they shy? C, were they quiet? D, brave. Now you can have two answers here. Okay, you can have wild or brave. Next question. Where does the girl's story take place? Do you still remember our lesson about a place? What do you call that story element? Very good. A setting. A. At the farm. B. On the school bus. C. At the girl's house. D. At the girl's school. Yes, correct. It happened at the farm. Next. Why do you think did the writer write this story? Is it A. To give the reader something funny to read? B. To tell what boa constrictors are like? C. To talk about how to behave on a class trip? Or D. To tell what farms are like? I know you know what farms are like. How about a boa constrictor? Of course, this is a different thing. Boa constrictors are big snakes. Now, if you will go to the zoo, maybe you can find one. And letter C. Yeah, to talk about how to behave a class trip, maybe. Or letter A, to give the reader something funny to read. What is the main purpose of the writer? Now, you can have two answers here, but the number one answer is letter A, to give the reader something funny to read, because this story is a funny story. But you can also answer C, to talk about how to behave on a class trip. Okay? Think about the story's title. Tell why the farmer's wife is screaming. Is this story real or make-believe? And why? Now let's go to the summary of the story. The day Jimmy's Boa ate to wash is about a young girl who retells the story of her class trip to a farm to her mother. As the mother questions her daughter about the trip, the daughter conveys the interesting series of events that took place. Without the teacher's knowledge, Jimmy brings his pet boa constrictor along on the class trip. The series of events gets sillier and sillier until finally Jimmy and his classmates are forced to leave the farm without the boa constrictor. However, all is not lost, for Jimmy has gained a pet pig. Would you like to have gone on this class trip? Why or why not? I know some of you like to have this kind of class trip because it is very interesting and exciting and funny. But most of you maybe wouldn't like to have gone on this class trip because of the boa constrictor. Okay, go to the next question. How would you feel bringing this boa on a class trip? What do you think could happen if you brought it along on a trip to the library? Oh no, or the supermarket, or the aquarium. Try to imagine you are going to bring a boa constrictor into the library. Okay, this will be your homework. Try to watch these kinds of videos. All one, even one, just one. Okay, these are very interesting short films about animals. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed our lesson for today and you understood about the story The Day Jimmy's Boa Ate to Wash. Have a nice day and see you all soon.